I made her do it. Yeah, first off, hats off to Virginia. Boy, Mox has done a great job. She's got a great fan base. She's got a great team. And this is a tough out all the time. Tonight was a tough out as well. We had to really bring our best. I can't say enough about the kid to my left. We lost a lot of kids to graduation. I know in this day in college athletics, you don't usually have 4- and 5-year seniors. Well, we had a lot of them, and they graduated. And then with Renaya being out right now, there's very few pieces from that team that have played meaningful minutes. And Indya just has led this team. Obviously we were really young in December. What have we won? 11 of the last 12, and they're just following her lead. And I just could not be prouder of her, which is why she gets to do the media today. So fire away. Yeah.
Coach, a career high for Alina Arnasawa, 20 points, not to mention 7 rebounds. Yeah. What did you see from her today? What was working?
Yeah.
And what's your impression of her
performance? First of all, she dove into the glass. I think we need her to rebound, and I think she had 7 leading up to this game in her whole Carolina career, and so that was just huge. But honestly, her being aggressive is critical to our offensive flow, and I thought she was really aggressive. Again, I know it sounds really coach, but I think Indya just bleeds confidence into people because she locks everybody down defensively, and so it makes it a little bit easier on the offensive end. And I think she just keeps telling people, you got it, you got it. So it makes Eve feel like she can be really aggressive, and when she is, we're better.
You knew at the beginning of the season that you had a terrific perimeter shooting team. It hasn't always worked out, but boy, it's working out at the perfect time the last 2 games and then breaking the record finally.
Yeah, we keep hearing that we got so close to breaking the record, but we didn't do it. And so who would have guessed? We also had 20 paint points. But, they had to go to their pressure because we really stomped on them in the first half, and so they had to kind of play over 94 feet, and we're a tough team to play over 94 feet because it just leaves more openings on the perimeter. And, Layla, good friend Indya's, again, just wants to do it for these seniors so bad because they've done it the right way, Indya and Harris. And, when the ball goes in, it's a good shot for us. We call it a practice shot if it's in the right way, and it was the right way.
How are you getting so many open threes or even contested threes you were making?
Yeah, well, they had to go into their pressure package because we stomped on them defensively in the first half, and so they played most of the second half in pressure. And when you extend the court over 94 feet, there's a lot more openings. It's hard to cover 94 feet with 5 people, right? It's much easier to do that over 40 feet. So when a lot of those threes came in our press break, or they zoned. They went to the zone because we kind of tore up the man, and when they went to their zone, we spaced them out that way. So it's just a mature team finally. We were really young, lots of new pieces, and they've just trusted the process. And we put in some new looks today that they executed really well and led to some open shots.
Indya, as a team, you had 21 assists on 29 field goals, and you had 7 assists. Talk about the floor game from you and the whole team.
It's a lot of gaps to attack when you have shooters, and then when I feel like I draw 3 people attacking to the lane. It's a clear kick out to my shooters, and I believe in them. I give them confidence to shoot that ball every time, and tonight we were hitting. So it just shows to the work that we put in day in and day out.
And what about your defense on Kamara Johnson? You pretty much held her in check most of the first half. She got her points later, but talk about your job. And Courtney, could you talk about her job?
I'll start because I want to make sure that we know that. So 2 of those threes, Indya wasn't on her. We had guys that go under. I think when we watch back that game, which we do, because I think this is the best defensive player because she can guard multiple positions, the times that she's on her, there wasn't a lot of baskets being scored. Now, she's a great player, high usage, but when we were forced into some switches and things like that, I think some of those points came from not Indya. But anyway, that's what I will say.
Yeah, she's ahead of the snake, and we emphasize that in our scout. Watched a lot of film. She moves off the ball really well. She moves with the ball really well. So yeah, it was a tough battle, making sure we had a body in front of her every time. And yeah, it wasn't my job. Only my teammates also took on the role to make sure they were in my gaps, in my help, just in case, because she's a really good player. Once I took away the 3, the drive came and they were in my help every time. So yeah, it was a group effort for sure.
They kind of cut into the lead in the third period. You called a timeout. What was your message to them, and what were you seeing there?
Yeah, we turned it over on press break. That was uncharacteristic. So I just wanted to settle them back down. It's hard when you have a big lead because then every score feels like they're feeling good about themselves. So I just kind of wanted also just to have a chance to regroup.
So you talk about clinching the number 3 seed in the tournament in a double bye. That was a big goal, obviously, for yours and for your team, and you obviously got that done.
Yeah, I was really happy for him. We lost 2 of 3 in December. It felt like 3 of 3, whatever it was. And You know, we kind of put ourselves in a position, we just kept saying that the most dangerous teams are the ones that keep getting better. And, you know, as a coach, there's no good coach that doesn't have good seniors or good leadership on their team. And I have really good seniors and really good leadership, and they didn't let anyone feel bad for themselves. They didn't let themselves feel bad for themselves. They just were committed to getting better every game and see how it all turns out. And so if you had asked me in December, or anybody in December, you know, the outright 3 seed, you know, I don't know if people would have believed us, but I think there's a lot of belief in that locker room.
Indya, can you tell me what you saw with Elena in this game? I mean, she just did so many things for your team.
Yeah, her journey has been up and down, and I feel like she just stayed in it. She stayed in the gym. She stayed committed to the team, and I feel like that just shows to, like, you know, our team culture and how, everybody stays connected through the hard times, because we all go through ups and downs of the season, and when their time comes, they shine every time. So, yeah, we always feed her with confidence, even when she's down, and I'm just so proud of her today. You know, running that point isn't easy, and I feel like today she commanded it, and, you know, she stayed consistent throughout the whole game.
Really well said.
And you knew it was going to be tough inside, but both Harris and Toomey got 10 points. And you talk about the score you got it from your post play.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, C's, 6 of them came from the 3, but, you know, those 2 kids have, I mean, obviously we know what Harris has done in our league, but Sierra, you really didn't see much time last year. It's remarkable, the improvement that she's made, and I said, I trusted our recruiting and I trusted our development in building this roster. We needed 2 key pieces, we got them, but other than that, we trusted and we wanted to bring back the pieces that we did, and, you know, I think that she's proved us right.
What went well in building the Twins lead? What did you do? What are you doing?
A lot of things. I thought defensively we were playing off a stop, right? We were really good defensively, and so when that happened, that allows us to play against a retreating defense. And then we were aggressive. You know, we've got a lot of guys that were aggressive. We sort of have found our way there. But you know, you give up 23 points in the first half, you're going to be winning. You hope. You know, and we were. And so live ball stops that forced them to get into their zone, and then we kind of sliced apart their zone. We were ready for their zone. We were ready for their man, and more importantly, our players were ready, you know, which they proved and stepped up and made big shots. This group would do anything for these 2 seniors, and they proved it tonight.
You may not know, but do you think we'll see her again this season?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, you see her out there now, right? I don't know if she warmed up with you guys or whatnot, but yeah, we hope so. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.